Are you thinking about moving to Salem, Oregon, but you're weighing the pros and cons and trying to decide if it's the right place for you or not? Then you're going to want to watch this video until the very end, because that is what we're going to be chatting about today, is the pros and the cons of living in Salem, Oregon. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Mariah. I'm a real estate agent here in Oregon, and we get calls, texts, and emails from people like you who are watching our videos and are thinking about moving to our area all the time. We absolutely love it. And if you're in that position where you're thinking about relocating to Oregon, feel free to reach out. We'd love to chat with you and see how we can help. I will put our contact information in the description below. The first pro of Salem, Oregon, one of the things that I love about living here is there is definitely not a lack of beautiful, free, naturey areas to go. There are quite a few really beautiful parks in Salem specifically, and then all on the outskirts, there's places to go hiking. There's just a lot of really beautiful nature. That's one thing I hear from our clients who are moving here from other states, is that they're excited to have big, pretty trees in their neighborhood. Now, obviously not every single neighborhood is going to have trees like that, but a lot of them do. You're in close proximity to major cities when you live in Salem. You don't have to deal with the higher prices and the traffic, but you can easily enjoy a trip to the Portland Zoo. I just went there a couple weeks ago. It doesn't take up too long to drive there. It's really not a big deal. Or you can enjoy the restaurants and different things that those towns offer without having to deal with the negative parts of living there. A con of living in Salem, Oregon is the expensive home prices. This is something that I kind of always forget about because we're so used to it here, and I always compare it to other cities in the Pacific Northwest. Compared to other places in the Pacific Northwest, it's not necessarily that high, but we have clients who we work with that are moving to our area from all over the country, and for many of them, Salem is actually quite a bit higher average home price point than from where they're moving from. But at the same time, a lot of them, they still choose to live here and they still choose to move here even though the cost of housing is higher, because there's other benefits to living here that you just can't have in other parts of the country where the cost of housing might be a little bit lower. Another con, the rainy weather. We all know this. Won't go too in depth on that. As someone who's lived here my whole life, have never really thought of it as a big deal, but I've also never lived somewhere where it's super hot and sunny all the time. One positive thing that we hear from clients who are moving to our area from places like Arizona and like Sacramento, places where it just gets so hot in the summer where you don't want to go outside. They're so excited to enjoy summers in Oregon. I think our summers are perfect because it's warm enough to still go swimming and enjoy the outdoors, but it's not too hot that you have to stay inside in the AC all day. Okay, the last con that I will talk about for living in Salem, Oregon is the high petty theft rate. And that's something that I saw that on an article, so that's not like me saying that as someone that lives here. I saw that on an article that apparently we are high in some areas of town on petty theft, but we're low on other types of crime. So if I'm gonna choose what type of crime I want to live by, petty theft is a lot better than some other types of crime, if that makes sense. But that is a con apparently, according to an article that I found online. Again, as someone who's lived here my whole life, I've never once thought of it as a dangerous place. I walk around downtown at night by myself and I never feel scared, but that's just my personal opinion. You might feel differently. I'm sure plenty of people do feel differently, but that's just my experience